this because it was pulled from the internet very quickly. Like, it was there and gone, and the brand has wiped it, and they are clearly trying to just put it behind them. So earlier this week, a new account popped up on Instagram and TikTok going by the name Iris Lane. And Iris Lane was a perfume creator sharing recommendations surrounding fragrance. But here's the catch. Iris Lane does not exist. Iris Lane is not a human. It is an AI influencer created by beauty brand incubator Slate Brands. So Iris Lane is not the first AI influencer, and unfortunately she will not be the last. But what people found so upsetting about this that caused Slate to pull the account is that this person, put in air quotes, Iris Lane doesn't exist, but this person was sharing recommendations for perfume. But this is not a real person. She has no nose. She cannot smell. She's posting videos saying this perfume gets me so many compliments, but she's not a real person.
Today, someone stopped me in the street to ask what perfume I was wearing.
Which probably leads you to ask, why would Slate Brands, this beauty brand incubator, make an AI influencer? Well, that becomes very clear when you look under the umbrella of Slate Brands and see that they mostly have fragrances. So my best guess is that their plan was to cultivate a following for this fake AI influencer and then eventually do, I was gonna say paid collaborations, but again, she's not a person, she's not getting paid for this. So basically they would get free advertising from this fake influencer that they made. AI is coming for everyone's job, even the influencers now. Okay, and I know it is easy to see this video from Iris Lane and think, okay, well, who would be dumb enough to fall for that? That is so clearly AI. And that was my first reaction. But I have to say, a lot of these AI scams, and yeah, scam is the word I'm going to use here, these AI scams are getting harder and harder to detect. And as much as I want to be like, oh, I would never fall for that, and I know you're probably thinking that too, I promise, I can almost guarantee at some point you have. Because this is not the only scenario, and yes, the example of Iris Lane was very much giving like uncanny valley, like you see it and you're like, yeah, that's AI, that's not real. But sometimes it's not that obvious. And as these models get better and better and improve, it's going to become less and less obvious for us. They're gonna be harder and harder to distinguish from real humans and real videos.
In this video, see if you can figure out what's real and what's AI. Which one of these is the real purse? This one. This is a potato. In this video, see if you can figure out what's real and what's AI.
For example, are you watching Love Island? I am so behind. I do know who won, but anyways, I'm so behind. But Huda from Love Island USA was the victim of a recent AI scam that made its way through TikTok, where someone made a fake video of her saying, this is the perfume that I wear, and then stitched it with like some compliments of her perfume on the show.
So a lot of you guys keep asking me what perfume I wear, so I'm just gonna tell you guys it's called Angam, I think, by Lattafa.
And then so many people fell for it and bought the perfume from the TikTok shop. And to be fair, it was not the brand making those fake AI videos, but I do think they have some responsibility to intervene and take them down on their behalf. Because here's the thing, even with that Huda one, in hindsight, I'm like, okay, yeah, no, that totally seems fake. But when I saw it for real in my feed before it was identified as AI, my first thought was, okay, yeah, it seems a little glitchy, but maybe it's just an old video. Like, yeah, the words aren't totally lining up with her mouth, but I figured that was because it was like the live stream and like an old recording. But no, it was fully fake. The same thing recently happened with a video of Rihanna saying, again, she didn't say this, but saying the perfume that she wears.
Like, so many people ask me, oh, what perfume do you wear? Like, I have so many.
Do you have a favorite perfume out of all of them?
Yeah, oh my God. There's one called Nyla by Arabiat.
We are seeing TikTok shop creators make fake videos using AI, trying to convince you that such and such celebrity uses this perfume or makeup product in order to sell it to you, but it's not real. I'm gonna leave a video down below from Abby Young from a year ago where she shared that a brand used her video, used like an AI generated version of her voice to sell their product that she has never used. They stitched a real video of hers with this fake video, implemented her voice into it, and it kind of did sound like Abby. Like, genuinely, if I heard it on my feed, I'd be like, okay, this kind of does sound like Abby, even though I've never heard her talk about that product. And maybe if you really watch Abby religiously, you're like, no, the voice is a little bit off. But if you've only seen her in passing, but maybe you know that like she's a trustworthy creator, if she was recommending something, it would probably influence your decision on whether or not to buy it. But maybe you don't follow her close enough to recognize that tiny little tweak in her voice. You might think, okay, this is Abby and this probably is her true recommendation, but it is fake.
You can obviously still see some discoloration, but so much better. It's all because of this product I found online.
Even here on YouTube the other day, I wish I would have taken a screenshot. I wish I had some like proof or something I could show you on the screen, but I was served up a fake AI ad. And don't get me wrong, AI is being used in everything. I'm seeing a ton of ads using AI, but these ones I'm talking are like actually fake and they're scamming people. It was this woman saying, oh, this is my jewelry brand. This is my family jewelry company. We've been open for like a century. No, she hasn't. This was fake. And she's sharing these like old AI fake videos of like her jewelry brand over the years saying, we're finally having to close down our brand so everything is on deep clearance. But it's not real. They're literally fake videos. This is not a real jewelry brand. I mean, maybe it is, but like that's not their true story. And again, I know it's so easy to write it off of like, oh, I'm not dumb enough to fall for that. Someone else might fall for that, because that was my thought when I saw that video of like, who would fall for this? But you wanna know what I did fall for that I had no idea was AI? This viral song on TikTok earlier this year. It is called A Million Colors. Now, when you see the cover art, it seems quite obvious that that was AI, but if you're just hearing little snippets of the song in short form content, it kind of sounds like a normal song. I wish I could insert it here, but obviously I can't due to copyright, but go look the song up. You've definitely heard it before. It's a beautiful song. It's very like Motown-esque. It was so pretty. It was trending on the app. It made its way into their trending charts, and it currently, at the time I'm filming this, has over 1 million streams on Spotify. It is a completely AI generated song. Even the artist that made it, that they're like showing his face in the profile photo, that's an AI generated photo. That's not a real person. And I'm sure there's more AI involvement in music than we are aware of, but when that was trending, it was being reported that that was the first known AI song to ever chart on the app. Fully AI generated song. I don't even want to get into the ethics of this because that could be an entirely separate video, but I really want to highlight this because I'm seeing so many scams in beauty come from this, and they're only increasing. So the other day, I saw my friend, another creator, Miranda from Slash Beauty, share on Instagram Reels a clause that was sneakily added into a recent influencer contract she got. This was a clause in her contract that they would be able to use her likeness in perpetuity forever in AI generated content.
This morning, I got an offer to create UGC for a major hair care brand. Under that little checkbox at the end, where it's like, I also accept these terms and conditions if I participate in this collab, checking yes also gave them the right to use my content in any generative AI tools for any AI use in perpetuity. You do the one project for them, you get paid once, and then they have the right to generate any other content using AI from that one piece of content forever.
Scary, both for the creator, but also for the viewer. If you watch Miranda and you trust her and her recommendations and you see a fake video made by her, you're going to trust it even if it's not real. And while these things might be semi-easy to detect today, that will likely not be the case 1 to 2 years from now, if not even sooner. So let's talk about some telltale signs to protect yourself from these scams. Okay, the first one I want to call out is when it is like a Facebook ad, an Instagram ad. Take it with a grain of salt, especially if it's a creator that you follow and you think, I've never seen them recommend that product before. Might not be real. These are the platforms that I tend to see these like fake spammy ads on the most, like especially on Facebook. And again, every single day I see people falling for it, like 100% of the time. If I see a fake AI photo, ad, anything, like there are dozens, if not hundreds of comments of people thinking it's genuine. So just be cautious on those platforms, especially if it's just like a random brand you've never heard of. Red flag. But second, there are a ton of visual cues that you can see there. If it is too blurred, that's a really good call out. If it just looks too smooth and unhuman, it probably is. Also consider the words from the perspective of A, does the mouth match the words? Or B, do they add B-roll over the words? Okay, this is a good trick. This is also a good trick in reality television that they use all the time. You can snip up something very easily if you put B-roll, so basically like a video that's not the main video, over top of when someone is is speaking, it's really easy to sneak over the fact that this isn't what they're saying. Whether you're stitching a random sentence together, that they do this on reality TV all the time, or you're adding like fake words, but you're putting B-roll over top of it, you can't see the person's mouth. It's really easy to deceive the viewer. Like, okay, just as an aside, I don't watch a ton of reality TV, but it's fun to kind of identify it as you're watching. You will see like multiple clips where they'll do interviews with the cast members. They'll have like a flower in their hair, and then they're seemingly still in the same interview a minute later, but you're looking from another angle and suddenly the flower's gone. Or like there were sunglasses on their head and now the sunglasses are gone. Yeah, it's because they stitched together multiple interviews to make it seem like they're saying something that they're not. And the use of B-roll makes this super easy because you can't see the cuts, you can't see different scenes, or if it's an AI generated voice, it's harder to detect when it changes when there are these additional visual layers on the video. Also hair, that's difficult for AI to make because, you know, it's a bunch of tiny little strands. If the hair just looks too smooth and like uniform and like one thing versus like pieces of hair, probably not real. Another giveaway is the audio, especially if it sounds a little something like this. When you can't really hear like background noises or room noises, as someone who edits audio, it sounds similar to when you remove the background noise. You like turn that up to 100% and completely remove it. It has this unnatural, unhuman quality to it. Also, the animation in which the person is speaking. Sometimes if it's really big and they're like constantly moving and it doesn't seem human, it's probably not. Or you could sometimes see the opposite where it's just very like robotic and still and not really moving. Probably AI. Also look for inconsistency. The perfect beauty related example of this was a recent palette from Ensley Rain where you can see close to the head the ear is a human ear, and then once it passes the hair it turns into like an elf ear. That weird break at the hair is a telltale sign of an AI generated photo. And again, I know you are listening to this thinking the same things that I am, like, Kelly, I'm not gonna fall for that. I'm not one of the people that would fall for that. Okay, there is a quiz that the New York Times recently posted that I took, and it is a series of videos. Half of them are AI, half of them are not, and it quizzes you, was this AI or not? I'm gonna leave it linked down below. I thought I was gonna get 100%, let me tell you. I didn't. And this is what they wrote at the end of that quiz. None of the fake videos in this quiz took more than a few minutes to create. Isn't that crazy? Less than a few minutes to create a believable fake video. And the crazy part is even the tips that I just shared, like they might be helpful today, but they will very soon be out of date. A year from now, these videos are going to be harder and harder to distinguish. And we're already seeing beauty brands take advantage of that and try to scam their customers. Up until this point, most of the brands we were seeing doing these like scammy fake AI videos to try to sell their products were just like random brands. But seeing this AI influencer come from Slate has me really concerned. Like they sell brands that are sold at credible retailers like Anthropologie, Credo. It's no longer just these like random small brands trying to scam us. And let's imagine that this Iris Lane creator was not deleted. That would allow Slate brands to A, get this completely free advertising. They no longer have to pay influencers to talk about their products. But B, they get to dictate exactly what this person is saying because they're not real, and they can program her to say anything that they want, completely deceiving the customer. And again, we are barely even skimming the surface when it comes to the ethics of AI. And I'm talking here AI is a very like general catch-all term that tends to get used for everything. But here's a quote from Women's Wear Daily. CGI influencer Shudu Graham was introduced in 2017 by British photographer Cameron James Wilson as the world's first digital supermodel, and quickly garnered the attention of brands from Fenty Beauty to Louis Vuitton. But many have criticized Wilson, who is white, for benefiting from the image of a black woman. A white photographer figured out a way to profit off of black women without ever having to pay one, wrote ex-user shortly after Graham's introduction. And this hurts everyone except for these companies, because real humans are losing work and being replaced by AI, but it's completely deceiving to the consumer. How could you know how a dress hangs on a human body if the only imagery you have that captures it was created by AI? It's not even a real person. How can you trust the recommendation of an AI influencer when they're not a real person? The only one benefiting is the company, because now they no longer have to pay a human to do these things when it can be quickly created for cheap. And I don't share this to create like panic and fear, I share this because it is our reality and we have an obligation to be AI literate, especially now, but moving forward when this will continue to get harder and harder to detect. I don't want you to fall for a scam. I don't want to fall for a scam. People are falling for scams every day and we are seeing beauty brands use it to their advantage. And I really wanted to talk about that today. So I hope you found this video valuable. Take that test. Actually, please, I challenge you, go take the New York Times test and leave me a comment on how many you got. Thank you for watching and I will see you in my next one.